Alright, we're going to learn how to play some power chords. Power chords are simple two-note chords that can help us play songs reasonably easily. And the best thing is we're going to ignore pretty much every string except for the top 2 strings or maybe the top 3 strings, depending on how hard we're going to make it. So we know our strings are Eddie, 8, Dynamite. They're the only 3 we're going to use. So you're going to hear me talking about the E string, the A string, and the D string quite a lot. We are not going to use these other 3 strings at all. So when you're strumming today, you're only going to be strumming either those top 2 strings together or the 2nd and 3rd strings there, so the A and the D strings. We're going to ignore the E one sometimes, but quite a lot of times we're just going to be hitting the E and the A together like that. So a power chord follows a pattern, and the pattern is the same every single time. So I want you to try and get this pattern. I'm going to test you as well. The pattern is as follows. We're going to play one particular note first. I will call it out, and this is the main note that we're going to be talking about. So I might say fret number 2 on the E string. Now we know this is fret number 1 here. All of this area is fret number 1 because it's in that first space. This is fret number 2. So if I said fret number 2 on the E string, we're going to put our finger on that E string, push it down, and we're going to play that note. But we're going to play a second note. We're going to play this string and this string at the same time. We're going to strum those at the same time. And the pattern goes like this. If I'm putting my finger here on the 2nd fret on the E string, the other note I'm going to play is on the next thinnest string, so the A string, and 2 frets across. So this is fret number 2. So we're going to be playing 2 frets across on the A string, which is right here. We're going to play those at the same time like this. Those 2 right there like that. Now if you find that hard to reach, you might want to use your little finger as well. You can lay it flat. It doesn't really matter how you do it because we are only playing this note here and this note here and those strings. Okay, let's try another pattern. That pattern is always the same. So let's say I was playing the 1st fret on the E string. This one here. We go to the next thinnest string, which is our A string, and we play 2 frets across. 1, 2. And that is another power chord. And when we strum that like that, just those 2 strings, I'm going to put my hand in so you can see. That's what it sounds like. So what if we were to play this note up here? This is the 4th fret on the E string. So that's our first note. Where would our second note be if we go to this next thinnest string and 2 frets across? So here is my first note. My second note would be right here. Just like that. So I'm going to put my fingers in those spots. That string, the next thinnest string as well. Play those together. Remember, we're not strumming the whole lot. We are strumming just those top 2 strings. Like that. Let's do another couple of tests. Let's try this fret here. Alright, so I've got my finger on that fret. Firstly, what fret is that on? Yeah, so that's on the 3rd fret. And I'm going to also play the next thinnest string and 2 frets across, which would be here. Okay, and that's fret number 5. So there's our first finger. Our next finger goes on there like that. Strumming just those 2. Now remember, you would normally strum down here where the sound hole is, but I'm strumming up here so you can see that I'm just strumming those 2, nice and gently strumming those 2. Let's try one last one. Might be a repeat of what we've done already. Let's try something a bit different. Let's try this fret here. Firstly, what string is it on? It's on the E string, and what fret number? That's fret number 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to play the next thinnest string, and how many across? 2 across. Alright, so we go 2 across, which would be right there. So let me put my fingers in those spots. 1, 2, like that. Strum that.